The concept for the series is simple. What would happen if you took a vanilla Minecraft player and gave them all the mods to play with? Would they thrive in this beautiful and complex world? Or would it be simply too much for them to handle? Welcome to All the Mods 9. Hey everybody, my name is KryptoCal and welcome to the next episode of All the Mods 9. And as you can see behind me, we have a little project starting to get underway. Down here, we are prepping a little build in the river here. It's going to actually be like a bit of a water gate with a nice little arching bridge with a gate over it. And then there's going to be a build on Grace's side where she is currently working. But the plan for this is we're going to make a nice big tower here. And we're hoping to be able to put a decent sized mob farm inside of the tower that I'm building on this side of the build. Not only do we need all the drops from the mobs, we also need a decent source of experience because going forward, enchanting stuff is going to get very expensive. So I'm going to throw a quick little montage in here of us working and designing this build. And hopefully by the time I come back, we have something that's actually worth looking at. I mean, it can't be any worse than that office, right? All right, so we're not finished quite yet, but I think we're at a point where we're happy with what we've got so far. And we're going to basically take a pause and go and start working on the other stuff in terms of getting the mob farm up and running. And this is what we have here so far. Now, I do think that this needs a little bit of work, obviously. I think I'm going to do a little more detailing work on this tower here. It's probably going to go a little higher up here, and then we're going to have some sort of roof to cap it off. And I have to bring the tower down to the riverbed. And Grace is working here on some of the designs here of the windows. So we're going to take a bit of a creative break and go on an adventure to find a couple extra mob spawners to put in our mob farm. So there is a dungeon that is added from the Iron Spells and Spellbooks mod that will basically provide us with an opportunity to get some better spawners. And the Wayward Compass that I have here is what points to that dungeon. You can craft one of these up by using some Arcane Essence and also a Soul Lantern. This will point us towards the nearest Catacombs dungeon, which should house some pretty good spawners that we can grab. Now, we are going to be fighting a boss while we're there, and he can actually be mob swabbed and farmed later. And we might actually have to swab him and farm him later for some other things as well. So I'll bring along a couple of mob swabs with me, just in case. But overall, this adventure shouldn't take too long and shouldn't be too difficult. So let's go ahead and get going.
Ready to throw hands. Let's go.
Teleport to the village, because I think that's the closest spot to where this is pointing us.
All right.
From the village, we're due southwest. Oh, right here. The compass is spinning in circles.
This is like right by spawn.
All right, I'm going to put my night vision goggles on so that people can see better because it's going to get dark down there. Small tunnel. Down we go. Yep.
Have you made it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Dungeon delving. All right. We just got to dig in here. There are some spawners down at the bottom here that I'm pretty sure are decent. So I have Silk Touch. I can go down and get them done quickly, I think. And they're pretty quick.
I can grab one too.
They're pretty quick
spawners.
spawners.
I hate it. I hate it. Okay, I got it.
All right, finish them all. Yeah, look at these spawners. They're delays. 10 tick delay per wave with a wave count of 10.
Wow.
So it's going to spawn 10 mobs every half second.
Those are fast. Bottle of lightning. What? Very cool.
All right, so down here, I see some red carpet, which means that the boss room is down this area.
Ooh, a hopper.
There, he's over there. He's having a nap.
Yeah, he is. Get it, King.
We'll come back for him later. Oh, there's more spider spawners here. Whip down and get them quick here.
Okay, go. I got one. They're teleporting. No. But this is low-key kind of terrifying.
So these rooms actually also have spawners in them. I think these were actually caused by a spawn. Yeah, these ones here. The Evoker Fang spawner. This has a minimum delay of 0.
What?
So it can instantly, as a minimum,
there's one
instantly
over
spawn
there.
Mobs. It has a lower
Got
spawn count though. So that's okay.
There must be another one.
There's another one, I guess, yeah.
I got the spawner. We're good. But also
Okay.
I found some chests.
Oh, there's chests in here.
Open that. Yeah, that's...
Boop. All right, boss located. I'm going to
Okay,
give
I
him a
did it.
swab. Swab.
You swapped
Get
the
swabbed, kid.
Oh, he's ugly. Maybe I shouldn't be so drunk. I'm gonna die instantly if I get him.
Get him. And he's been defeated. I was
What?
kidding.
Phase 2, baby! Oh, he go high.
I'm not sure if this is copyright music, but kind of has like a Ganondorf Phase 2 vibes. with that hair.
It's kind of just ugly.
Well, that's kind of rude.
Yeah. Maybe I should be
Where'd he
less
go?
judgmental. There he is.
Oh.
Found him.
One more.
Aw,
Yeah.
you got the kill. I was doing so well there. I did so much damage there, and you got the kill.
He got me the Necronomon.
Hubbard.
But we have some pretty good spawners now. Let's see, how many do we have? We have
Here, I'll give you mine.
9 spawners. Those cave spider ones actually, I think, are the best ones. Those are pretty good. But what we can do is we can control the spawners with redstone to turn them on and off when we want to. And I'm thinking we can put the control panel for that in here somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good idea.
Control it from here so we don't have to
Make
go
it
down
look
there.
like the electrical box on the wall or something. I'm so excited that I have suspicious sussy bees.
That
It's
is
an imposter.
That is a sussy bee.
That's
but
as
he's-
big as he gets too, which is funny to me.
So in between this clip and the last clip, there has been a little bit of time that has passed. Grace went away for a week and left me all by myself, so that happened. But then also I went ahead and decided to get sick and also get a sinus infection, so I haven't been doing much on here. I've only really been having the energy to doing a little bit of designing and decorating of the building a little bit, but Grace just got back yesterday, and so we are ready to keep pushing on. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little rough because it is, but we'll do our best. I went ahead and while I was sick, got together at least the stuff that we are going to need for the mob farm. And that includes a bunch of the spawners that we went ahead and got at the beginning of the episode here, and also all the mob eggs that I want to use in the mob farm. Now, Grace has a swab of one of the mobs that we're going to be using. I think that's the Ancient Knight, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's that one. And then there's also the Evoker swab. I got this one from, it was an Apotheosis boss that spawned in the end. That's going to be handy to have for emeralds at least. So we'll go ahead and talk about the entire mob farm setup as we do it. But just for now, we're going to go ahead and just make these other mob eggs up really quick. We just get a little bit of experience bucket here. And we can make ourselves the chicken feed. And we have a couple extra chickens down here, and the eggs keep piling up from all the chickens around here laying eggs. But anyway.
So should I feed the chicken or?
Yes, not Toby.
So I feed a chicken that isn't Toby because Toby is HR. Yes,
Toby
yes.
is HR. That would be at least a workplace incident report.
Of course.
I do not want to fill out an accident report today.
Too much paperwork otherwise. Okay.
Give him the goods.
Oh.
All right, chicken. Everything else I think we should be ready to get started with, so we can probably just grab the backpack and head on out.
Let's go.
Grab this and grab the experience crystal. Oh, sorry. One thing I did want to mention with the backpack. The mob masher upgrades, the looting one specifically. The recipe's been changed a little bit, and it's actually quite a bit more expensive than normal. Each looting upgrade requires having a looting book, which can be a little annoying to get. But I went ahead and made a little villager here who is selling me a looting one book for 13 emeralds, and that's just the reason I have him out here, just to show that off. So I've been working on my side of the build here. Grace obviously decided to abandon me for the week, so she's done absolutely nothing. But I went ahead and added a couple little outcroppings here with a little bit of extra roofing on the side just to add a little bit of detail. And then I also went ahead and put a roof on the middle part, which will connect my side and Grace's side here. So we're going to put the mob farm in the side of the build here that's done. The internal size is just about the exact size that we were looking for the mob farm. So that's going to be good. So first off, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves the mob masher out. And if that's your first time seeing the mob masher, this is the recipe. Just a bunch of iron and diamonds, really. A lot of iron swords. A lot of iron swords for some reason. We're going to put this probably right here. And it's not hollow underneath. No, don't worry about that. All right, so we'll put the mob masher down right here on top of a redstone block so that it is always running. This requires a redstone signal to run. It's not a power-based thing, so it's actually pretty easy to get going once you have a block of redstone or even a lever underneath will work, but that'll just keep it on all the time. But next thing, we have to put all of the vector plates down. Grab some vector plates.
Let's go. I love these things. They're hilarious.
Actually, in hindsight, let's just take the mob masher out for now. We're going to be putting all the vector plates down, and I sense a lot of pain in our future. I'm going to start doing all of them pointing in this way. 3 levels of them pointing inwards like this, all the way to the middle. And then the middle one will have all of it just going directly in. And then from here, it'll just be all this direction facing towards the mob masher.
Wait, ready? Wow.
So let's build up 1, 2, let's just leave 3 levels just like this. All right, so on top of that cobble deep slate is going to be where the first spawner goes.
But I don't want it to kill me.
Well, let's go and configure the mob spawners, and then we'll bring them back in to put them down.
I like that idea better.
All right, so for example, here are all the spider spawners that we have. I have a couple more here that are the Evoker Fang spawners that we got, but
I'll just go ahead and configure these ones, and then we'll configure the other ones after. So there's going to be a couple upgrades that we're going to want to add to these to make them a little more efficient. The first one that I'd like to do for all of my spawners is giving them a comparator. Because if you give them a comparator, that will basically turn all of them off and only be turned on again once they're given a redstone signal, which is very handy for turning farms on and off. I'll go ahead and do that actually with all of these, even the evoker fangs here, which obviously don't care about daytime. We'll just go ahead and just make sure all of these are off. All right, so they're all turned off now. We don't have to worry about them anymore. The next one I'm going to add is going to be the golden apples. Now, the golden apples are what you actually add to a spawner to turn off the mob AI. Turning off the mob AI actually is really helpful for a couple of reasons. One, it makes it safer for you to go in and work with the spawners while they're spawning, if you ever have to. And two, it actually cuts down on a little bit of lag on a server because it doesn't spawn mobs that all have pathfinding and stuff. Now, I'm going to give the golden apple to every spawner here except for one, and that's because one of the mobs that we want to use is the slime. And I think the slime is a little glitchy if you give it a no AI. I don't think it actually moves it properly, or they can get stuck in a weird way. So I just make sure that the slime one is still AI enabled, but everything else we can turn off pretty much.
Brain drain.
Brain drain. Do you want to apply the next one, Grace?
What do I have to do?
You're going to be applying the white wool. And the white wool will basically silence all the mobs that are coming out of these. So it'll be just turning the volume of all the mobs spawning and dying to effectively 0. And the next thing we want to do is apply the gas tiers. The gas tiers are going to actually increase all of the max entities that can be around the spawners to the maximum. So did you grab any of these? Or you can grab half of them and do them. I'll start on this side. But effectively, you can, I think, max is out at 16 max entities. So that's going to be good to put on all of them. And the last upgrades we have to make here are the soul lanterns. The soul lanterns actually make all these spawners ignore light requirements. All the spawn delays you can normally kind of configure with all the modium and unobtainium ingots, but these ones are already by default amazing. So now we'll go ahead and actually put the mob eggs into each one that we want. So the slimes are going to go in the first one because it's the one that has AI still. But other than that, we want to just go ahead and apply all of these. So you can probably grab a couple if you want, Grace.
Honestly, I'm kind of petrified to apply them.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will do it.
I don't want to misclick and then just spawn it in instead.
So we want one cave spider. So we'll leave one of those. Then we'll do a creeper and a skeleton, ancient knight, the evoker, the blaze, wither skeleton, and finally an enderman. Everything else here we can basically configure after. The spawner agitators are what we are actually going to use to keep these spawners running even while we're not in the area. Now we are going to have to chunk load this, so I'm going to go ahead and actually chunk load the mob farm side of the tower just preemptively. So that'll be force loaded so we can keep them running. And we'll go ahead and apply everything else when we're inside the building. All right, do you want to start stacking them?
Oh, heck.
Go stack them. Now that's a mob farm. Whew.
Spicy.
All right, so now we're going to want to turn all of these on and off. Now, do we want to make these turn off individually or just have a generic on-off switch? I'm thinking just a generic one for now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We can always modify it later if we need to for individual, but...
So we're going to use the redstone links from Create to turn those off, and the redstone links are just a little bit of brass casing and a redstone torch, and they'll let us remotely just configure the redstone signals of the spawners so we can turn them on and off from our main storage room. I'm just going to put all the spawner agitators on, just like that. The redstone links, we're going to have to put one down between every group of 3. So just like that and that. There we go. They can actually spawn, or this is actually a block
spawnable location.
They can spawn and get stuck in these, I think.
That's not good.
We might have to put some trapdoors on top of all of these. They look about as wide as a trapdoor, so I'm going to hope that they won't get stuck on that. Oh.
What?
They're trapdoors, which means that they're gonna flip up.
That's funny.
I do have a bit of sick brain, I will admit.
He's man-colding.
All right, I think that configuration should work. I'm going to have to block off the area that we're currently standing in here because they're going to spawn and get yeeted into this little safety area. So I might need to get a little bit of dark glass out or something.
Tinted glass?
Yeah. I mean, like, because they're ignoring spawning with the light, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. I'll get some tinted glass anyway if I can. It looks cooler, I think. The tinted glass from the mob grinding utilities is actually really clean. I show you.
That is actually really pretty. I do like that a lot.
All right, well, in the off chance we ever have to access the farm here, for now I'll just put a little bit of ethereal glass in here so we can move in. Oh, wait, I have to set a signal for the create the redstone links. Let me do that really quick. I'll give it like the double diamond sword frequency and put a lever next to it. So that means that anything that has the double diamond sword on it, when you turn this lever, it'll flip all those on. So I will give all of these redstone links in here the double diamond sword config, and they have to be on the receive mode. So you shift right click and that will put them into the receive mode. I want coffee, but tea.
I want coffee. I should go make some.
So to collect all the mob drops from here, sophisticated backpacks are going to come in to the rescue once again. Basically how I have this backpack configured that had all the stuff in it to begin with was this is actually what's going to be picking up all the items. And that's going to be because of the advanced magnet upgrade, which I currently have switched off, but I'll go ahead and actually switch that on right now. So any item within a certain radius here will just get sucked up immediately into the backpack. Now, the really cool thing about the sophisticated backpacks is the void upgrades. And the way I have these configured, first off, I have it configuring so that all items from a certain mod get immediately destroyed. That being anything from Forbidden and Arcanus, Evilcraft, and Iron Spells. I don't really think we need too much of this. We can always come back and remove one of these filters if we want to. This will just keep a lot of clutter out of our storage system, and it just kind of will just reduce the amount of items we have coming through our ender chest, which is what we're going to use to actually import our items into the storage. The other advanced void upgrade is actually the really cool one, and that's going to be using a certain match tags filter. So I had this currently configured to basically void all armor, arrows, charms, and spell books that come into the system, which is going to be a lot of clutter from some of these mobs that we just don't really care to have. So all of it will get immediately voided. So hopefully what we're going to be left with is every item coming into the backpack is going to be something that we want to keep. I also have the tank upgrade in on this backpack because this will actually allow it to suck up experience as well, which is how we're going to actually transfer our experience out of here too. So let me actually go ahead and put the mob masher down and apply the sharpness and looting upgrades. The sharpness upgrade just requires a bunch of iron swords, and the looting, of course, requires that looting book and then just some blue dye and gold nuggets. But we can grab 10 of each out of here and our mob masher, and that should be able to be placed there and apply all the upgrades. So this thing is ready to grind some mobs. Let's put our backpack right here. Now I am going ahead and using the all red ender chest frequency. I just figured that kind of signifies mob farm for some reason, the all red, for no reason in particular. And these ender chests by default start with a storage of 9 slots, which is not really good. So by shift clicking with an ender pearl, you can increase the stack size to be 27 slots like a normal chest. And that'll be plenty of space. That's because all of the items aren't going to stay in here. They're going to get imported into our system anyway. So we don't really need a ton of storage in here. We're going to also put an ender tank from the exact same mod, which is going to basically send our experience over to wherever as well. And likewise, we can just shift right click to increase the tank capacity. All right, so on this side, we're going to have the fluid. So I have a fluid importer from Integrated Dynamics, and we're going to place it on this side just like so. And we're going to place an interface on the bottom and hook these up with a little bit of the cable. Similarly, on the other side, we're going to grab the item importer and we're going to import all of our items out to the other side where Grace is standing, of course, so conveniently. Where Grace is standing, so item interface on the chest, and then we're going to hook this up with a logic cable as well. And that is effectively the entirety of this mob farm. It's very, very simple. All I have to do is place some variable cards in here where we're going to import all of our fluids, so all the experience will get pumped directly into the tank, and same over here. We're going to import all items from here, and that'll get pumped directly into the ender chest. This should now be working, and this is all chunk loaded up, so we can actually teleport back home and set up the other side. So I was thinking we have our experience source just over here, Grace, like in the kitchen. I feel like that's a great, just like to place it right like
vending
here or
machine.
Something. Yeah, like a vending machine. But I'm just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing I just did on that side, on this side now. All the experience should come in nicely. Now, as for the items, we don't actually need to have access to the items. They're just going to come right into the storage. So what I'm going to do is set up something over here with the red ender chest. We'll place it down just maybe like this. And then we're going to do the exact same thing with the importer and interface on the actual controller itself. We don't want to import directly into refined storage because all the items that we're having coming in from the mob farm, we want to have in drawers anyway. So there's no reason to import into refined storage. We can import right into the controller. I'm going to go over there and just stand down by the farm. And when I say go, flip the switch.
Okay.
This is a big moment.
It is. I'm excited.
Things are about to go catastrophically wrong. I can feel it. All right. Moment of truth. Throw the switch.
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Oh, here they come. Oh my goodness.
Wrong lever.
Oh, it's so much. Oh my goodness. It's too many items. Turn it off, turn it off.
Okay, it's off. What happened?
Things went south so fast. I need to configure the void setting, I think, again. Please hold. So after a little bit of testing and trying and tweaking, we realized that those spawners are so unbelievably good that we were effectively almost crashing the server by having them running. So while it might be okay to have one of those spawners running at max speed, having all 9 of those like that was just not possible for the server. So we're going to compromise here, and we got some of the other spawners that we had, just the basic speed ones out here. And we're going to go ahead and modify these with some of the allthemodium and unobtainium ingots, and that'll help speed them up a little bit, but still keep it so hopefully that we will be able to run them consistently enough that we don't have mobs piling up. If you apply allthemodium to a spawner, it will actually decrease the minimum spawn delay, which is the least amount of time there can be between waves. And the unobtainium is the opposite. It will actually reduce the maximum amount of time between waves. So that's kind of the big one. All right, all the spawners are in, but let's just give this thing a little quick test to see if we can keep up with all the mobs. So let's flick it on and see what happens.
Let's not crash the server.
There you go. They just had a little time they had to kick in a little bit, but now they're coming in, and it looks like for the most part, they are keeping up. There's no mobs piling up, it looks like.
Not nearly the same rate as our last thing, but that's okay.
That's probably for the best, yeah.
Cal, we need the best spawners. Let's go on an adventure specifically to get them.
That was maybe a bit of an oversight, yeah. If you look through the window, can you see the mobs dying?
Yep, I can see particles.
So that means, yeah, so the mob farms is running and on, which is good. And our experience crystal so far, well, let's see, if I dump all of our levels in here and take them all back out, we're at 131 levels. But the main thing that I am interested in right now is getting the angel ring. The angel ring will provide us with some creative flight, which will be amazing for doing some detail work on some of these larger builds. And it actually isn't too expensive overall. Like, it is expensive, but it's all stuff that we have. What this does is it drains your experience over time to allow you to fly. And because we have infinite experience coming in now, I'm not worried about draining all of it at all. We had to craft up a couple things that we don't have here. First of all, the diamond ring itself, which looks like everything is here except for a block of netherite. Is netherite something that we are a little low on? Oh, we have scrap though. That's not a problem.
Well, that's what's coming in from the farm. We just set it up, right?
Right, so that's not going to be a problem. We have over a stack of netherite ingots now, and I can craft up the angel ring, or the diamond ring, I should say. And then after that, we can craft up all these furnaces. You got to get to the allthemodium furnace, which is pretty expensive. But
that's an expensive ring.
Then he's got to tediously craft up all the tiers of furnaces here. And our second allthemodium furnace. And now, the moment of truth, we can craft our angel ring. Boom. And creative flight is now ours. And I believe this does have its own special slot in your baubles here for the angel ring. So we can put that in there. But now we can double click to jump and ta-da!
Wow.
And it really doesn't drain your experience all that fast. But I think that's what we're going to call it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really hope you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description down below.
I promise. Go. Shh. Why are you still here? Go look.
That's it for me, everybody. I hope you all have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.